Yeah. I'm going to deal with the topic waiting for the barbarians. Ready? The other. The title is taken from this poem written by C.P. Cassidy, and he writes, "Now what's going to happen to us without barbarians? Those people were a kind of solution." Now what does this mean? This means a lot to James Woodley, who wrote this novel. He was, in a way, I should say, he was the protagonist of the novel, that is the magistrate, is a symbol or is a spokesman of James Woodley. James Woodley was he is an insider outsider. He was a white man who born into South Africa. So he felt the trauma that the magistrate here feels. So that trauma is depicted here. First, let me come here, make it familiar with the part of the story. I'm going to deal with the three characters only: the barbarian girl, the magistrate, and Colonel George. Now, the barbarian girl is a barbarian, for whom they are, or the others, to whom they are trying to reach. The Colonel George is someone who has come from outside, and who is the spokesman of third bureau, and who is there to arrest these barbarians who are there in the process, who are planning a rebellion to the settlement. And magistrate is there, who is the representative of this British colony. And he is there controlling the whole thing for years together. So he is now almost among the barbarians. He is accepted by all those things. But Colonel George is a newcomer. So these three characters are there, and out of these three characters, I would like to interpret this topic. My first topic is the self-other binary. When you read the other, then you consider yourself as self. So this self-other binary is there, and when there is other, then you are the self. If the other is not present, then self is not there. So this self-other binary functions here. The magistrate, Colonel George, magistrate and Colonel George, these both characters are there. I have talked about those characters. Magistrate tries to read the other with these two methods, that is excavation of nearby ruin of former civilization, and by enigmatic washing and oiling ritual with a naked barbarian girl. That dialogue was too much bold, so I haven't included it here. By these two methods, he is trying to read the other, the barbarian, or his other half. These two methods contrast sharply with Colonel George's method, who believes that who treats this barbarian savagely. It so happens that you may consider that Colonel George, even though he is a well-civilized person, he is a barbarian. To that extent, he traumatizes the other, he tortures the other. So that there is a difference between those two people. Now this alterity, magistrate understands that this alterity is intersubjective, is interdependent. This alterity between self and other is interdependent, interanimaic. So when this alterity is to be considered, other is to be considered as well. So these things, self and other, are inseparable, even if they are distinct. So this thing is present here there, and I have included Michal Bakhtinski, who says that I am conscious of myself only while revealing myself to another, though through another and with the help of another. I cannot manage without another. I cannot become myself without another. I must find myself in another by finding another in myself. So this, you yourself, your own identity is dependent upon the other's identity, and you can't ignore the other. So they are trying to, this mutual reflection, mutual acceptance of each other is demanded, is expected of in the novel. But in order to understand, they say that you need to locate yourself outside of, outside the time, place, and culture to which you want to understand. If you want to understand the barbarians, you need to locate yourself outside the barbarian culture. You can't go within. You can't invade, or you can't penetrate that culture to understand that. and this here is the mistake done by the Europeans or the settlers. The mistake is done in such a way that this magistrate invades he tries to penetrate the barbarian girl, and this Colonel George, he tries to expand he is imperial. He tries to expand the territory of his empire. So in that way, both are penetrating that culture, and in that way they are never able to understand, but they are able to impose their culture over the other. So they do not understand that life is dialogical. They need to commune. And in the process of this person, that is the magistrate, he tries to commune, he tries to talk, he tries to question, and he tries to get the answers from this barbarian girl. The process of oiling and washing her is the same process. He tries to understand her. But what happens, if you have heard the dialogue of Daban, that थप्पड़ से डर नहीं लगता था, प्यार से लगता. So that dialogue is very much, in most of the way, they are unable to understand this native. One is using that method of anger, he is just lashing them, and the other is doing love, making love. But by both the methods, they are unable to understand this barbarian. So both trying to trespass the forbidden, and this when they try to trespass the forbidden, they are unable to understand, or they are unable to read the other. So at the end, the magistrate says there is only blankness and desolation. That there has to be such blankness. So that is blankness, nothing. Magistrate is a man. He is a symbol. He is Buddhist, who is trying to, who has lost his way long ago, but still he is trying to tread the same path which is leading to heaven. And he analyzes the difficulties faced by the most well-intentioned self in understanding and valuing the other. He is the self. He is the most, he is the most noble person of the novel. But still, he has the difficulty in understanding the other. And the novel depicts the tragedy of this empire in projecting the barbarism onto the other beyond the border.